Now, going over to the Cultural Prod podcast, you have The View hosting Joe Biden and sounding as incoherent as ever, though some people might argue he still speaks more articulately than myself. But that will be a debate for the comments. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Libs of TikTok, in which he says, quote, dementia patient Joe Biden is on The View, mumbling incoherently. Democrats gaslighted us, knowingly covered for his obvious cognitive decline for 3.5 years until they coordinated a coup against him to oust him. Never forget. True. Nothing is more hilarious than, I believe it was MSNBC, the mentally vacuous host, was it Tapper? He said, oh yeah, I've never seen Joe Biden more articulate or more, he's just as sharp today as ever was. Then he attempted to debate Donald Trump and failed epically. And I would argue on that day, he did for sure sound less coherent than myself. He mumbled more than me, I would argue. Though I do have a joke. Maybe kind of serious. I have a theory. When I first started the show, really didn't have any subscribers, well, maybe family, and I stumbled over my words worse than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs and spoke faster than Ben Shapiro. However, as I slowly but surely gain more subscribers, I become slightly better at speaking. Some might argue just a modicum of increase, just a little bit better, though I would argue a statistical increase nevertheless, which fuels the theory. If you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it, and I will someday make it through an entire episode speaking articulately, perfectly, and amazingly, in theory. So if you click that button and tell friends, I would greatly appreciate it. And shoot, tell your enemies. It might infuriate them so much because they hate the content, and it might make some more conflict between you two, which I guess I shouldn't recommend legally, though I would argue it could be entertaining, and you never know, maybe they fall in love because they're so enamored with your excellent recommendation of a show, they then become your friend. You never know. Anything could happen. At least be some cheap entertainment. So if you go ahead and click that button, tell your friends and your enemies, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, without too much further ado, and to Joe Biden's credit, or no, more accurately, to Joe Biden's handler's credit, at least they did suit him up, so he looks, at least the suit does look pretty good. So he actually, in that one metric, looks good, especially compared to The View, though granted, anything compared to The View, visually speaking, is going to be infinitely more appealing. So I understand that. But without too much further ado, this is Joe Biden attempting to speak.
The projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best healthcare in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done?
Truth, never forget his best quote. Truth and shop under pressure. Actually, I wonder if something's wrong with him. I don't know if that's an IV injection point or what. Are there any doctors on the show? Maybe. But on his left, on the upside of his left palm, there's a clear circular, almost like a bruise. I don't know what's going on there. And I also understand what's the upside to him going on the show. Traditionally, cliche politicians would retire. Well, they go around, get the speaking fees from the bankers and the industries that they do favors for with their, then they, do the speaking track, or they publish a book that, would somehow make millions, but no one would actually buy. I really don't get why he's going on The View. He's not, I don't see him trying to sell any book now that anyone would read it or that he could write. Yeah, really bizarre. And maybe everyone's just so used to Joe Biden being incoherent and incognitive. I mean, he got about 80,000 views, so it didn't go that viral, but it got 1.7 thousand likes. And one of the first comments, well, I'm a little biased. It's not the number one comment by number of likes, but I think this person's especially handsome and brilliant. Haha, that's me, the topping show on X, in which I say, quote, you can tell a Democrat is lying because their lips are moving, getting 2 likes. You also have Chuck Costello saying, quote, what is Joe Biden saying? I can never understand him. What do you think this guy is saying? Best answer receives a follow back, getting 54 likes. 25 comments. What did people say? Let's see. LifeNews.com says, quote, I once had a small kitchen fire, which is why I'm qualified to be the next pope, getting 3 likes. Let's see. Drew says, folks, let me, what? Oh, I guess I should do this in Joe Biden's accent. Folks, let me, what? The fibbity gobbity, whisper chocolate chip. No, wait. The moon. We got a shimmerly shabla. Oh, come on, pal. Pop pizza. Riding bicycle with a toaster. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where's my flippity flop? That did get 2 likes. I'll get 3 likes. I think that's the closest to Joe Biden. Going back to the main comment section, you have Planet of Memes or Planet of Memes finally coming strong with a meme. Usually it's I would say it's about 85% of the time he doesn't do a meme at all. So they did good this time. He says, quote, what an embarrassment. It's the captcha question when you're on the internets. It says, select all the squares of an embarrassment. It's just a picture of Joe Biden with all the squares being checked, getting 20 likes. You have Zero Left saying, quote, Joe Biden is the worst U.S. president, getting 9 likes. The Undercurrent says, Joe Biden on The View feels like a live-action Mad Libs game where every sentence ends in confusion and applause. Democrats push this man as, quote, fit to lead, and now he's out there battling a coffee mug on national TV, getting 19 likes. Someone has didn't get any likes, but I thought this is funny. John's Memes has a picture of Joe Biden photoshopped with like the MMA or some type of boxing arena. Says, let's get ready to mumble. Which, that's a pun, because, let's get ready to rumble. Though if Joe Biden were to say it, he'd probably say, let's get ready to mumble, man. Come on. I can't tell. Is that a guy or girl? They're all fighting. Women can be men. Let's see here. Let's see. Rob Miller says, Joy looks very concerned and she's coaching him and leading him. What's with her arm? Getting 6 likes. Yeah. Have it make sense. I can't even listen to this guy. There's too much secondhand embarrassment. Getting 10 likes. Ryan Sheridan says, quote, this level of gaslighting is insane. They're doubling down. Why not just ride off into the sunset, dude? If you don't see the truth now, you are willfully ignoring it. We were lied to repeatedly from the top. Getting 18. Let's make it 19 likes. And again, I really don't understand the upside. I mean, if anything, I thought Joe Biden would try to, if he was more cognitively there with us, shed light on the fact that they ousted him. Because again, to this day, Joe Biden never publicly said he was dropping out the presidential race. It was a tweet. And we all know he doesn't tweet himself. There's been, what was it, Karine Jean-Pierre? Yeah, the Sideshow Bob gal. I mean, there are instances where she tweeted from her personal account in Joe Biden's vernacular and vice versa. So we know Joe Biden didn't actually tweet. I don't even think he knows what a phone is. Well, what's his rotary phone? A little antique pun if you know what a rotary phone is. And my grandpa had one, but I think I just dated myself. Nevertheless. So, I mean, I thought Joe Biden might be out for revenge and say, hey guys, this is what actually happened, but I don't think he's there enough. Now you also have a lot of people taking screenshots of his hand, wondering what's going on there, and then they're also taking screenshots of the part of the video where she's kind of guiding him with his hand. So yeah, really weird for him to go on The View and act like he's doing stuff these days. But let me know, what do you think the upside is of his doing this? Shoop the pressure, so to say. And let me know in the comments, who do you think speaks more articulately, Joe Biden or myself? Might be an interesting poll. But with all seriousness, any critical feedback is always appreciated, and appreciate you taking the time to tune in. Now we're going on to another fun political note. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.